Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy Doe, and today's topic, we are going to touch base on aliens, right? If you're watching this video, you are probably, one, have a Moldavite, two, experiencing some alien encounters, interactions, or three, you're curious if aliens exist. So where do I start? Yeah, aliens exist. So if you're still in denial about it, I don't think this video is for you, right? So the first step is really open up the possibility that aliens exist. And if you come from that perspective, then you're going to be more open-minded on what I have to say. But if you come in here like aliens don't exist, then regardless of whatever I say, you're going to always believe that that's your truth, which is fine, right? Everyone has their own truth. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to share, right? My experience with aliens. So, the very first encounter, what I actually have, like, and felt an energy, right? All it is, I feel like it's an energy. I haven't seen any like physical things, maybe like spacecrafts, but not physically. So the first time I experienced like anyone even mentioning like aliens, like talking as normal, was at my the ayahuasca retreat, and that's the week when I got my the vision for the light goddesses and working with Moldavite and this goddess academy, and yeah, it's 2.5 years ago. So then, if you know my story back then, I knew nothing about crystals, and when I did that ayahuasca that week, so before, right, we did 4 nights back to back. The owner came out and he was kind of sharing his story and like what it's about, and he mentioned like just so you guys know, when you guys are under the medicine, the aliens are gonna come down and do some work on you. And for some reason, I didn't like oh my god, no, really, like I wasn't like surprised, to put the least. That's interesting, right? But yeah, definitely aliens did come down and did work on me and a slew of other people. It was like an exorcism in that room. But if you know about plant medicine, ayahuasca, it is a medicine that goes deep within your roots to unblock whatever stuck energy is deeply within you. And so, you hear people like crapping, having diarrhea. Well, that's because they have a lot of stuck energy in their solar plexus, and something's trying to purge, right? If your ego is pretty big, or your ego is blocking a lot of what you're meant to do, your path, like it's blocking your flow of energy, then you're gonna probably have like a booty blast session. I'm just saying. And then and like if there's a lot of sorrow, or if like sorrow, like you would cry, right? Grief, like I cried a lot. There's other people that scream, right? If something, their throat chakra is stuck, like, it's intense. It's like a purging session. And it's interesting because the more shadow work, the more energetic work I've been working on. In my previous life, 7 years financial advising, like I never dived into the spirituality side. So I was never pulled to it, right? I was like, I have like serious stuff to do, right? Career stuff to do. And so, it wasn't until I had my awakening, where when you're talking about like when time you use to like start accepting a call, like the energy is gonna pull you towards that direction. So I think when I took the ayahuasca, I was in a place where like I'm done now. Like I don't know what else to do. Like I'm stuck. I'm so resigned at this industry, this field, that I don't care about letting all my license lapse and all that, all that schooling. Like it just doesn't resonate, and it's just like I just want to quit every year, right? So when we're talking about like your inner knowing on what your purpose is, your path is, that call is gonna get stronger every time. It's and you can either refuse it; it's gonna keep showing up. But the moment that you choose to, like, that's it. I gotta cut this cord. I can't see beyond what my path is right now, right? So I was at that point where it's like, I'm done. after 7 years, like, I'm done. I'm so unhappy. And that's when I went to go to the plant medicine, right? Mainly it was just the spirit science, which that was like the channel I was tuning into, because after my near-death experience, I just like so curious why a lot of people experience a near-death experience and see a white light in a dark tunnel, right? I'm like, I saw that light, but now I'm just like, wait, I experienced it, but I came back, right? So what is there? Like, I was so curious on why people are having the same experience. So that's how I got started my journey on my spiritual path, right? There's going to be a pull when you start your awakening, is when there's like, you're kind of like this close to breaking point. But I just remember as like, I need to know more about this. And then that's when I kind of like let my career go, right? It's kind of like, it was like pulling. I want to find out what is beyond death, or why is everyone having that same experience? And so I was so consumed in that, studying that, trying that, I just didn't care about my business anymore. And when I found out that the spirit science guys were going to talk at Rhythmia, that's where I went. I just knew, like, I gotta go see these guys, and this plant medicine, what is it like? Is it gonna give me an answer? Because I'm so stuck right now. But yeah, so I did that 1 week. I got the vision of Moldavite, the light goddesses, and I felt that was the first time I experienced this alien energy, right? I felt the energy getting pulled out of my chest. It was like an energy field. And I noticed around there's a lot of crystals set up, grids. And like, it's interesting. It was Lionsgate too. Lionsgate Portal 88. So I don't know what happened that weekend. But yeah, I just saw. So the medicine is going to show you what you are ready to see. Definitely saw my past, a lot of trauma that needs to be healed. Then I asked about my purpose, and that showed up. And I asked about my my soulmate, and then I saw something there too. So like, all this happened during that weekend. We're gonna talk about twin flame in another episode. But stay tuned, right? Because when you're working so with Moldavite, you're gonna get to that twin flame before it merges back to the original flame. But we're gonna talk about love and relationships in another episode. So back to aliens, right? Aliens. So that was my first experience of like alien, and anybody just talking about alien like it was normal. So like, it was probably like a month or two later, I got Moldavite, and that's when I started having the dreams, right? I know a few of you already reached out, who's had a Moldavite from me, experience like they're seeing me in your dreams, right? Or you're seeing Moldavite in your dreams, or you're seeing other beings in your dreams. Just know it's they're trying to communicate with you, right? Because when you're sleeping, that your soul is like asleep, so that energy, that Moldavite's energy, is pulling you to that dimension version of you. So, I mean, I'll see you there, right? Because when you're doing with all this energy work, and I notice the more I like purge, or like cutting cords, using crystal energy, open up my chakras, I am so sensitive to energy now. Like, I feel it. I have to uncollapse this, and this is where I got a lot of coaching around from my teacher. Is like, whose energy is it, right? When I'm just sitting there and I feel like, why do I feel like so crappy? Then you got to tune in. It's like, is it my energy or is it someone else, right? Because I pick up people's energy so easily now. And if you're an empath, you probably understand this too, right? An empath is just someone who's like open. And a lot of times if we don't heal our energetic field, our aura, and there's like holes, we can easily get pick up people's other energy, or like our field is weak, right? And so it can get overwhelming, or like you're like, oh, why do I feel like this? And if you don't know how to clear these energies, cut this cord, like it's gonna kind of like stick around until somehow you purge it out. But yeah, so the more shadow work I did this past 2 years, man, I feel the energy. And yeah, so when I got Moldavite, I just had these apocalyptic dreams, right? In the beginning, it was kind of scary because I was seeing this doomsday that was coming, and I made a video about it I'll put it in the bio where it's called Moldavite and the Awakening of the 144,000 Light Workers. Because during that time, it's interesting. I got Moldavite literally the next month. I just, like, somebody just pulled me to go to church. And I actually got baptized that same Sunday. But before Christmas, so something was there. It was just so powerful. I didn't know what was going on. I just remember around that time I had like apocalyptic dreams, right? So I didn't share that a lot with people just because, dude, it's scary, right? If I come to you like, oh, there's apocalypse coming, like, yeah, people won't listen. Like, plus I don't want to spread that fear, but when I keep having these dreams, like, this is kind of scary. So I thought it was like, hey, I thought it was like maybe so the ayahuasca retreat had like an integration thing after you leave, right? This little group, and I asked some of the people, and there's like, is anybody else experiencing this, or is this like an ego death, like in dreams, right? An apocalypse. So yeah, I couldn't figure that out. So I got my first mold, but it didn't really resonate until I found my second one. When I found my second one, like I knew that was the one. But the first one, it just didn't. I like it, but not like love it, you know. So one I was talking to my friend from the retreat, and her birthday, her and I birthday were the same birthday, September 3rd. And then I was sharing about Moldavite. I was like, oh, she wants one. So I sold her my old one, but it was a new one that really took me on this whole adventure in Vietnam. So yeah, I just kept having these apocalyptic dreams, and it's funny because shortly after I sold my Moldavite to my friend, she mentioned about an apocalyptic dream. So I'm like, okay, if it's two people, there's something there, right? Is it my energy? Did you clean the crystal, right? We cleaned it. The dream came through. So, okay, so two people. The third person, I made my dad, at that time, I was like, handmade jewelry, right? From financial advisor to like handmade jewelry. Talk about, man, my ego, but I just love creating these jewelries. And I made one for my dad. I left it on his bedside. I didn't tell him. So he didn't know it was there. Literally, the next morning, he shared with my mom, like he had the most apocalyptic dream where like it was so vivid, and he like woke up like scared. And he's like, he's never had a dream this intense in a very long time. And then yeah, he found out that yeah, he just remembered like seeing him like routing a bunch of people somewhere else, right? There was another one, so kind of leave it at that, right? At first, when all that happened, I thought it was just like me, maybe my ego death. But now it's like, oh, this whole coronavirus thing is like, I don't know, maybe there's something there. So what I'm experiencing with all of this Moldavite energy and so working with so much, getting pulled to do all this gridding, like literally, probably 6 dates in the last 2.5 months gridding Moldavites. And so literally, I have 8 Moldavites out there at different vortices, right? And when I'm telling you, like I'm going on this journey, but I'm tuning into the energy. My body's more open, right? I'm sensitive energy. So when I'm wearing the Moldavite, I tune into the Moldavite's energy, and somehow it just guides me to all these places. And I found 8 different locations. I buried a Moldavite there, and it was just guided. It was what I'm guided to do. Like I see so many synchronicity. I see so many coincidences. It's hard. I trust it. And so it just makes more sense because now as I'm learning about crystal grids, right? Whenever I'm driving, I'm actually connecting the grid versus flying. So every time I thought about flying, it just never seemed to work out. It would save me so much more time flying from different states to states. But somehow it's like, go to these vortices, bury a Moldavite, get us activated. So yeah, this last 2.5 months, almost 3, is just me, solo female road trip, around 6 days, creating 8 Moldavites. And so half the US would probably have like an abrupt awakening, right? Moldavite blew up, went viral about a month and a month in after I started grading. I started grading the entire place. I don't know if there's a correlation there, maybe not, but if it was, like, sweet. Half the US is about to get an abrupt awakening. Moldavite went viral, so the world is starting to know about Moldavite. Everyone's starting to adapt to Moldavite's energy, right? This is the beginning of an ascension. So one, yes, I'm being guided by the energy. I feel this energy. Like when I got to Denver, I'm looking at the skies and I'm tuning in, and these are like cloaks, right? I'll show you a clip. I'm gonna post in the video somewhere. But these are energies. Like I sense them. And so yeah, aliens exist, and if they're coming to you in dreams, you're connected to that higher version self of you in this Moldavite level. So why I'm having these, I'm not selling you these dreams just to like scare you, right? Because trust me, I was terrified when I start getting all these synchronistic events, right? Watch my Moldavite and the Awakening of 144,000. Like I was like, for me to go to church and get baptized, my second baptism, and then to see a movie on a series on about the seven messengers for some like trying to save from apocalypse, and then there's a meteorite involved in that series, and it was filmed in Houston, which is where I lived for like most of my life, right? So it's like that intense sign where I just can't like disregard it. But yeah, I at that phase, that consciousness in my in that video at the place I was at, it's like fear, right? It's like if this doomsday is coming, right, then I need to warn people.